Good morning, my fellow EMS colleagues. Here is the grade 9 paper 2 marking guideline discussion for you to use to mark your papers. Section A was on all topics. The first question, 1.1, was a match column A with column B. So if we look at question 1.1.1, it said customers buy final products directly from these businesses. That would be a retailer. Then 1.1.2, having to decide on how to satisfy the unlimited wants and needs of people with only limited resources available. That is your economic problem. Then 1.1.3, the quantity of goods and services that customers want to buy at a specific price. That will be B, your demand. Then economic activities mainly consist of farming. That would be G, your primary sector. And 1.1.5, also known as the service sector, that is your tertiary sector. So the answer is D, A, B, G, E, 1 mark each for a total of 5. If we look at question 1.2, they had to choose the correct word between brackets. A country with a or and closed economy will not participate in importing and exporting to and from other countries. 1.2.2, the construction company is said to exist in the secondary sector. A free market economy can also be referred to as a capitalist economy. The law of supply states that the higher the price, the higher the quantity supplied, and most of the labor force or workers in the secondary sector are semi-skilled. So 1 mark each for a total of 5. So the total of section A was 10 marks then. Then we look at section B, that is on the economics. The first one was your economic systems. So the first question asked, name the economic system in which the government sets the prices of goods and services, and that is your planned economy. Then they gave you a little picture, and they asked at 2.2.1, identify the type of economic system portrayed in the business above. It looks like the two people are working together. So 2.2.1, the answer is a mixed economy. Then if we look at 2.2.2, discuss one characteristic of the above economic system, and it can be anything like the private sector controls some of the natural resources and the government controls the rest, or private enterprise or ownership of businesses in all industries are allowed, or the government provides some services like healthcare, legal services and infrastructure, or the government and private businesses together produce goods and services to resolve the economic problems faced by the economy, or the government controls business practices through labor, consumers and environmental laws, or the government provides subsidies for both individuals and businesses. Any relevant answer, but read your learners' answers to make sure that they didn't write something like that but in different words. Then 2.3 was a little case study that they gave. The person's mom buys old jeans at a store, a second-hand store, for 20 Rand a pair. Then she recycles it into handbags that she sells at a community pop-up market for 50 Rand. Now they ask, motivate why the above scenario can be identified as a free market economy, and you have to give 1 answer for 2 marks, and that would be there are high profits being made, or the business is competitive, or there's freedom to be able to own their own business, or any relevant answer that shows that the learner understands that this is a free market economy. Then we came to the circular flow. The first question asked, name the participant in the circular flow that provides public goods and services, and obviously that is your government. Then they asked, provide the descriptions for the labels at F that you can see is there, and at H that is there. And if you look at that, it looks like money that flows out. So the first one is something like households buy or spends on goods and services, and H, businesses spend or pay for rewards to the factors of production, or pay the households for their factors of production. Then 1.3 asked that you identify the real flow in the diagram above, and the answer is option 1, where you can see the households provide the factors of production to the factor market that provides it to the firms. The firms supply goods and services to the goods and services market that the households get. So it's option A, it's A, B, C, D. Okay, question 3.4 was a little scenario again. Tatu is a young gentleman from a household. He is employed by Golden Ribbons, a business that exists in the economy in the above circular flow. So 3.4.1 asks the factor of production that Tatu provides to the company, to the economy, and that would be his labor. The remuneration for that factor of production be either a salary or a wage, and then the payment that Tatu makes to the government is his taxes. That was then question 3 for a total of 10 marks. Then if we look at question 4, that was the price theory. 4.1 asks the one factor that influenced the demand customers have for a product, and that would be anything like price or the income or the fashion or the season or the weather, the price of other products, advertising or competition, or any other relevant answer that you may have in your notes and you deem then correct. Then 4.2 said you have been saving money to buy a PlayStation 4 and have been looking out for good deals to various stores. You notice that the price changes from time to time and that different stores sell it at different prices. Below is the demand and supply for PlayStation 4 at a large gaming store in the country. So they give you the supply. So 4.2.1 asks that they draw the supply and demand curve, and they must show the curves and the equilibrium price clearly. So it must look like something like this. So what do you give answers for? You give answers for naming the horizontal axis correctly, as well as the vertical axis. Plotting the demand curve, plotting the supply curve, and then showing where the equilibrium price is. Then they asked at 4.2.1 for 1 mark, identify the equilibrium price and the quantity. So your answer was 6,000 for 15 PlayStations, and then name 2 factors that will influence where you will buy the PlayStation at 4.2.3, and that is price, availability, or the preference of the specific model, or money available, or anything else that the learner writes that fits into this specific scenario, for a total of 9 marks, and then section B was a total of 25 marks. Then we look at section C, that is your entrepreneurship. It's all about the sectors of the economy. So if we look at the sector, the first one, 5.1.1 was your secondary sector, that was missing there. Then they asked a description for the primary sector. So your description is you extract raw material from nature, or take raw material from nature, or use raw material from nature to supply to the secondary sector, or anything that the learners wrote there that is relevant. And then example 3, they could name 5.1.3, any kind of shop or any kind of service can be named here in 5.1.3. Then they asked at 5.2, briefly discuss the importance of the use of resources of the primary sector sustainable. So you have to use it responsibly. If you don't use it responsibly, it will get used up, and there will be a shortage for goods to produce in the secondary sector, or there will be a shortage of goods and services needed by customers, or resources in the primary sector run out. It can cause that the other 2 sectors collapse, or any other relevant answer that explains that the learner understands that they must use the resources effectively. Then we come to 5.3. There was a little case study given that reads, Land A has a strong secondary sector with many factories producing steel, textiles, and processed foods. However, these industries are often affected by strikes and a shortage of skilled workers. The primary sector is small, focused on mining and limited farming. The tertiary sector is growing rapidly, especially in retail and transport, serving both urban and rural areas. The government is concerned about the instability of the secondary sector and its important impact on economic growth and job creation. So 5.3.1 asked in which sector of the economy is the most economic activities in Land A, and if we read it nicely, it said the secondary sector. Then it asked, identify 2 reasons from the case study why Land A secondary sector is considered to be unstable from the case study. So the learners must have identify due to the frequent strikes and the shortage of the skilled workers. 2 marks each for a total of 4. Then they asked, why is the government concerned about the instability in the sector? The instability in the sector can impact on the economic growth as well as on job creation. And then the last question, asked for 1 mark, suggest on why the government could support the secondary sector to improve labour stability. And what is written there is providing skills training programs, improving labour laws or working conditions, and offering incentives. So just note here that 5.3.3 is for 2 marks and 5.3.4 is for 1 mark only. And any relevant answer can then be there correct as well. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you so much for watching it, and I hope this helps you in marking your learner scripts. Good luck.